Hello, and welcome to another book haul. Another book haul? It's another book haul. Don't act like we don't all have this shame. If I actually did a book haul every time I bought a couple of books, this channel would just be book hauls. It's a deep-seated shame inside of me. It's not going anywhere, so just get used to it. But this time I have an actual excuse, and that excuse is that I went to London and met some wonderful people, and whilst I was there, we were there to buy books. So as a dutiful booktuber, I indulged. I know. I sacrifice a lot for you. I understand that. I had to go through a lot of trauma and a lot of self-growth to do that. But I indulged myself for you. The people I met was Library of the Viking and his wife. Absolutely lovely people. Johan and Susanna, absolutely lovely. I don't know why I'm saying that like we're starting at the top and we're going to be like absolutely lovely, and then by the end it's going to be like the rest, absolute naff. People know who Johan is. He's like the rising star of BookTube. Next up, Abby Salter. Abby is such a lovely person. Everyone should watch Abby. She is very much the quintessential booktuber, and she's British, like the quintessential British YouTuber. You know what you get in there. You're getting a lot of fantasy. You're getting some romance spiced in, whatever she fancies, and it's just a nice old time. There was Archie from Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, feel free. Never gonna stop hyping it. Archie's from the Discord. Archie has a few videos out. You never know, he may make another one at some point. But Archie is lovely as well. Very handsome man. It's hard when you know someone purely from the internet, don't know what they look like, and then you meet them and go, huh. You're too good looking to be a nerd. Fuck you. If there's one thing nerds can relate to, it's finding a nerd that's actually a normal looking human being and being like, excuse me, sir. You're not allowed in the club. And then finally, James, who is a Bookstagrammer. So I'm going to leave the link to that if you want to check out James in the description. He was also a lovely person. He brought his child with him. Absolutely lovely. Can never have too much cuteness bumbling around during the day. So overall, fantastic experience. First off, there's going to be some clips. I don't know where I'm going to intersperse. And let's just get into the books. First one, I didn't have to pay for. What a sentence, am I right? I got a book. I didn't have to pay for it. There's no... If you start the sentence with I got a book, there's no greater ending to that sentence than and I didn't have to pay for it. They are the two clauses you want to meet and marry together. And this was a very nice gift. Is gift the right word? I mean, it was gifted to me. So it is a gift from Johan, which was Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. I did not own this because when it came out in the UK, they evidently had some massive problems. And even though it was out, it didn't actually go into stores for quite a while, at least not where I was. And when I tried to order it online, it was having problems. It was saying like 3-week delay to have it delivered. And then I already had read the e-arc, and to be honest, it just completely slipped my mind to actually get one. And so he had an arc sent to him by, is it Orbit? Who the fuck made this? Orbit, yeah. And so evidently he didn't want it anymore that much. So he gave it to me. Lovely jubbly. Thank you very much. Because whilst this is not my favourite book, Daniel Abraham is one of my favourite authors. So it's got to be done. Along with that, I also got a now empty box of Lindor because memes pay off. If you make memes in people's comment sections and then meet them, the memes will pay off somehow. So I got to eat those. Fantastic. Oh, they went all over the floor. Moving on from there, we're going to actually just go through the books. There are 5 books that I bought. 2, very easy to do right now. I don't know whether this is going to come out before or after my wrap-up. I imagine after. So you'll know that I've just read Red Country if you've watched that video. So, in preparing for the next trilogy, I already own A Little Hatred. It is right here. So I got The Trouble with Peace and The Wisdom of Crowds, because I'm so excited for this. And really nice length. They're only like 500, they're less than 550 pages each, which is just lovely. Joe Abercrombie is the John le Carré of fantasy. Incredible. I love Joe Abercrombie. Everyone should read Joe Abercrombie. These books are actually slightly different sizes. Like, maybe like a couple of millimeters difference. Don't know whether you can see, I'm holding them at the same level, but they are certainly not the same size. Which is pretty mad, you know. They are different printings because they've evidently got different size logos and stuff. That's very interesting. Nevertheless, super excited for that. We'll get the last fantasy book out the way as well. This one, man, I'm starting to really sound like a Brandon Sanderson hater, even though I love Brandon Sanderson. I got Dawn Shard from Forbidden Planet, £2 off. You cannot argue with that. I love this design, first off. I don't want to say anything. Look at this cover underneath. It has this wonderful cover detailing. It's a fantastic edition. And I don't want to go on about it too much, because overall I think this is a great little like novella design and everything. It makes it worth the value of a novella. My only problem is that my actual favourite book design of Brandon Sanderson is this Edge Dancer, which comes in the cardboard front, like printed onto it. And I love how this looks. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And considering that this is... They also did it with Mitosis like this as well. So the fact that for the second novella released, they've switched to a different type of hardback does ilk me a little, because they, next to each other now, don't look the same. And I don't know, there's just something about it. It's completely different looks. It's one's flat, one is bridged, or whatever it's called. UK Brandon Sanderson designs. I do think whoever is in charge of designing at that company at Galantscore. Oh, this is printed by Titan Books, not Galantz. Well, that explains it. Is he Switch now? I haven't. Every single edition is always Galantz. This is the first one I've seen by a different publisher. If anyone knows anything about that, please let me know, because I was going to say that whoever at Galantz is constantly changing how they design their books, such as you can only get Alloy of Law in a big paperback, but the other ones are all in hardback, but they haven't reprinted Alloy of Law in hardback. Whoever's making these decisions, please don't. Just stop. Start printing the same thing. They never printed Way of Kings in hardback until last year. No, 2020 for the 10th anniversary. So for all of time, I have had the hardbacks for the other ones, but the first one is in 2 parts paperback. So I just wish, from now on, sort your shit out. Match everything. Come up with a plan that you're going to stick with. Don't change partway through. All of this stuff, it severely aggravates me, I have to admit. Nevertheless, as a book itself, this is a very nice looking book. You can't get better than white cover, shaded elements, and then gold and red detailing. It's just beautiful. You can't argue with it. So that's also what I got. And then we're going on to 2 magical realisms. They're both magical realisms, I think. One is Japanese and one is Korean. We'll do the Japanese first. I read Convenience Store Woman last month and enjoyed it. I really like the writing style. I think that it's not for everyone by any means, but I've very much enjoyed what the author was doing, the kind of interesting deconstruction that was happening. And as a result, I picked up Earthlings by Sayaka Murata, which is, does it say? Translated by Ginny Tapley Takamori. And so I've heard a lot of people say that this is way better, that if you read this, there's no point reading Convenience Store Woman because this does everything better in this. The back, it says, as a child, Natsuki believed she was an alien, a different species to her Earthling family and classmates. She hoped a spaceship would come down and take her home. Now she lives quietly in an asexual marriage, pretending to be normal. But the buried horrors of Natsuki's past are pursuing her. As she flees the suburbs of the Nagano, I don't know how to pronounce it, mountains, and a reunion with her beloved cousin Yu, she wonders, what will it take to escape the Earthlings? And that is relatable. Wanting to get away from human beings, that's one reason I was 100% on board with this book. So I'm very excited to see what this endeavours. I've seen Jack Edwards was like, this is insane. So I'm on board. And then we have Human Acts by Han Kang, which is translated by Deborah Smith. And this is super interesting to me. I am very excited to read this because I read The Vegetarian. The Vegetarian is super abstract, super strange. It's doing some very interesting things around gender in that book and sexuality and all of this jazz. It was a very interesting read. However, it did falter for me. It didn't land an ending. The book split into thirds, and the last one faltered for me. It tied things up, but it didn't tie up the things that I was hoping it would. And that may be down to me being a man reading it, and I think it probably is. But the interesting commentary it seemed to be making was then, I don't want to say abandoned, but put on the back shelf. So this, people also say, just read Human Acts first because it's incredible. And this is the kind of concept that I am here for. It reminds me a lot of Frankenstein in Baghdad, South Korea, 1980. In the wake of a viciously suppressed student uprising, a boy searches for his friend's corpse, a consciousness searches for its abandoned body, and a brutalized country searches for a voice. And this reminds me of Frankenstein in Baghdad. It reminds me also of Murakami because he deals with World War II Japan. This seems like it is very much, I will enjoy this more than The Vegetarian, which is why I'm very much looking forward to it. As a whole, that's it. That's everything I got. We had a gift. What did we have? We had a gift. We had just one of the best authors. We had me complaining about the design of a book. And two weird ones. And really, that's all you need. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you very much to the people that actually met me. I hope I wasn't as annoying as I actually am. And I can confirm, once again, that Booktubers do in fact have legs. It's not just a torso. There is more. If you did enjoy the video, please do like, please do subscribe. It does help out, as I always say. And as always, just have a nice rest of your day.